Hello everyone, welcome once again. Today we are cooking a pot roast, Portuguese sort of style pot roast for a Sunday supper. Basically you have a nice piece of meat. Actually it's a blade steak, I do believe, and I'm going to salt them, I'm going to season them, a little bit salt and pepper. And then I'm going to pan sear it. You can see a little bit salt and pepper. There you go. Just for good measure. Some black pepper. And that's going to go on both sides. As you can see, a nice AAA Alberta beef. A little bit more salt and pepper on this side. Okay, so we run out of pepper on that one, and we got some more pepper. So a little bit salt and pepper, doesn't matter if it's white, black or white. And there you go. So that's good. That baby's going to be seared. It's going to go in the oven, and after that with some tomatoes, some onions, and so on. I'll talk to you regarding the ingredients as we go along. Okay, so it's been searing on one side. Now we're going to turn them over to the other side. As you can see, nice brown color, probably a little bit more color on this side, but that's part of the searing process. It's going to take a little longer to finish up, and then we go from there. Now, you have to understand one thing. Remember, there's a lot of grease splashing up and stuff, so you always make sure that this thing doesn't catch fire. And always work safe. Never use a cloth that's wet, because wet conducts heat, and if you were to put your cloth on the handle, the heat will travel very quickly and it'll burn your finger. So never ever do that. So as you can see, this guy's almost ready. Couple more minutes on each side. The oven's already on, so we're going to prep our mise en place, onions, tomatoes, Portuguese pepper, homemade pepper actually, and we're going to be ready to rock and roll in a few minutes. So while our pot roast is on the go, we're going to dry some garlic. The oven is ready to go. So we're going to crush some garlic, which is a very simple method of doing. Some nice garlic. A lot of the cooking that we do around the house, or that I even do as a professional, revolves around a lot of garlic. We basically grew up with it. It's something like you can take away from the man. You can take the garlic away from the man, but you can take the man from the garlic. I'm not quite sure how it goes, but in any case, garlic's a good thing. It's widely used in Portuguese cooking, pretty well any cooking all around the world. So this is the way we're going to do it. When you come across these little greeny things, they tend to be a bit bitter. So I've always tried to get them out. Don't use them up, because they bring a lot of bitterness into your dish. Now with this recipe, we don't have to. We're just going to chop this kind of coarse. It doesn't have to be really fine. Actually, this should be plenty good enough. But if you would want to make it fine, you can do that. Just add a little bit. You can add a little bit salt. Just add some salt to it, and basically what you would do is then you would basically mash it like that, and then go from there. Now remember, the more salt you put in, you have to adjust down when you salt your product. So this thing is pretty well ready to go. Okay, the way we're going to do it is we're not going to chop the onion. We are actually just cut it coarse in pieces like that. Nice a whole onion in there. Oh boy, it's gonna be good. So, what do we have? We have tomatoes, crushed tomatoes already, actually juiced and crushed. Some onions, some garlic, quite a bit of garlic, and we have also hot pepper paste, or what we call it, pimenta de casa. This is pepper paste that we make every year. Actually, it's coming up to do that again, so we should be on the go very soon. As you can see, the roast is nice and seared on both sides, nice and brown, and the oven is pretty well ready to go. So basically, all we're gonna do is just put everything together. So, and this is the way to do it. We are going to add just a tiny little bit tomato sauce at the bottom, like so. We are going to add some onions to it, a couple of onions, so that this guy will stay on top of the onions. There we go. Now, this fella here, he's going to come in right here. Just like so. We are going to add some garlic. We also are going to add some pepper, homemade pepper, really good stuff. A little bit of it, it's tasty, not too spicy, but it's quite nice. We are going to add some wine, so homemade wine. Actually, I do believe this is a Zinfandel wine that I have taken around the house. And we are going to add our tomatoes, the rest of the tomatoes. So basically, this is the way we're going to do our pot roast. Everything will go right in there. Oh, this thing is going to be so yummy in a couple of hours. It'll be incredible. Alright, so she's good to go. All I need to do is cover them up and we're ready to rock and roll. So we have roast in the oven. Maybe a couple of hours, 2.5 hours, it'll be ready. It'll be a wonderful meal. Obviously, you can go without a glass of wine. So we'll see in a bit. Cheers, enjoy.